Welcome, everybody. Good morning. Happy Wednesday, February 5th. We never,
Good morning, Matt.
we never talked about the groundhog seeing his shadow. Is that
No, my
the?
wife and I did though. It's like, oh my gosh, 6 more weeks of winter,
Does that mean 6 more
and
weeks of winter for the stocks too?
it feels that way, doesn't it? It feels like well, what we're on day 5 of February, and only the third day, the third trading day. So it's like I said last week. How like you've told me in the past, that very first day of the new candlestick can get really crazy. They can do all sorts of shenanigans before they have to stabilize it, um, to stabilize the damage they've done to themselves.
Yeah.
This is funny. There's this T-shirt that my wife really liked. It's a picture like a wizard, a guy in a wizard's robe and cap, in a big Cadillac with the top down, and he pulls up to a bunch of nerds and he says, "Get in, losers! We're playing D&D." And that's how I feel this morning. It's like, so everyone, come on, pile in, get in, losers. We're checking out some stock charts today. And look, the requests are rolling in already.
Very, very good. Yeah,
So
I'll
we'll
jump.
try to yeah, go right ahead.
Yeah, we'll try to get to all of them, and I'll jump right in right here. So no change, right? Since our triumvirate show last night, it's SPY still above ranges. We can look at the daily charts just to see what's going on, and yeah, I mean it's above everything except for it's really battling that conversion line. So what that kind of implies is it's really still stuck. So we'll see if it can get over 600.64 today. If not, it might need to retest lower. And with that, we'll go to QQQ, and this is kind of similar, right? It's going back down to the cloud, testing that support. 50-day moving average is at 519. So yeah, still stuck. Can't really go higher, making lower highs, lower highs. So we're going to pay attention to maybe the 519 as holding as support. IWM, this one is looking like it kind of maybe wants to hold the 786 this time. Maybe because there's stronger support with the 100 and the conversion line underneath there. So that's the 226 down to the 225 zone. So there we go. Like things look stuck still, just like they did yesterday. And how's SMH looking after that AMD stuff? Well, it's actually up a little bit pre-market, and we can see it's still stuck underneath the daily cloud and the 200-day moving average. So still not looking too good for a recovery just yet until it gets back above some of these averages. So going to be watching this closely for the next weeks to come to make sure SMH has a healthy recovery. Otherwise, could be breaking down. So we'll see with that. And yeah, I guess I can jump right into the request. I see HIMS is the first one on deck. And what I'm watching for HIMS is a couple things, right? The first one is the linear scale fib, the 3942. Just want to see that hold. And that was basically broken out throughout the week, right? Just exploded higher. And if that does hold, then the log scale fib is the target, the 4664 right here. And I think that could be a magnet for price because it held this previous all-time high zone very, very well in the 25s breakout back test. Like that's like a textbook breakout back test. Really, only one weekly candle actually like the body of the candle went under that $25. So very, very beautiful. But yeah, I think the near-term target is going to be the 4664. Maybe even within the next couple of weeks or less. We'll see. But it's got to hold this 3942 in order to get there. So
Heidi's not going to be happy about that. She was. I was thinking that it just about topped out on my fib extensions, and I guess I should show it, huh?
well, I mean, it didn't even reach its log scale. So if it's anything like Palantir went straight up to the 1.272, right? So with that said, I think the potential to get there is good, right? Because price likes to gravitate to the path of least resistance, and I think it looks like it has a clear shot up there. There's really nothing up there, right? Nothing to block it at all. but doesn't mean it's going to
It's
get
true.
there in one weekly candle. It could take some while. It could even retest this. I mean, we know HIMS. It trades like a 2x leverage of ETF, so it could easily come
Yeah.
back down to 39, retest it a few times, whatever, before going higher. So
Just show my HIMS chart real quick,
yeah.
and I'll just tell people what I was showing Heidi. Um, See, I thought based off of the 1, 2 being right here, wave start, wave 1, wave 2, it went 100%, almost, yeah, 100%, 50%. Maybe I should have picked 150%, but I was looking for the 1382, and it's kind of surpassed that now. Here's Matt's 141.4 retracement up here to 4411. This 4123, that's 41. Oh, 4411, yeah, yeah. Then I see, I thought it would come back down here to 3356 and then go on to 6132, but maybe I was a little premature with that. Anyway, yeah, here it is in pre-market. It's above that 1382. Did you even test back through it? Not really. Not really. That could be an ending diagonal. It could reverse. So anyway, we'll just be careful with HIMS. It's in two resistance. I actually sold my HIMS and took the profits that I had, and I'm waiting for a pullback. Um, hey, so one person had a question about what do we think MicroStrategy with the earnings coming up, and I remember you talked about how MicroStrategy, well, with the new reporting standards, accounting standards, they could talk about the kind of gains that they've had on their Bitcoin. Do you want to say more words about that?
I have no idea, but all I see on the chart is it's stuck in a range.
That's true.
Yeah,
Here's the T-shirt. I just want to share with you guys.
playing D&D. Nice. Yeah, I mean,
Get in, loser. We're playing D&D.
well, this is what I see for like Coinbase and MicroStrategy essentially. Here, let me just go to my MSTR,
Yeah, go ahead.
and I'll just briefly touch on those things. So, yeah, like I see this 340 is a very important level for uh, MicroStrategy. I see that it's really stuck in between conversion and baseline, and even this 45-degree angle now. It's really trying to battle above that. But also, it depends on Bitcoin too. So Bitcoin actually, if it holds these levels and gets back above like 102, 101, that zone, then I think it's going to go towards the all-time highs again. But if Bitcoin gets continued stuck under the 102, 101 zone, then I think MSTR is going to be stuck still. But essentially, this is a nice setup, right? It's a breakout. It's a back test of a blue level. It's basically trading sideways ever since then. And it looks like one giant
Yep.
bull flag. So I think if you were to speculate on earnings, I think it looks pretty decent, right? That there's a good chance of going up. But again, like Bitcoin has to play nice as well, too. So, or they could just drag it out and it does nothing and it just stays in this range until it gets closer to the cloud, right? Maybe earnings is just whatever and it comes back down and retests the lows here and goes sideways. But still, this is what happens when stocks are overextended sometime. They can just cool off for a while, making people just think it's all over. And then all of a sudden they go higher. I mean, that happened to ASTS, right? Just real
Yep.
quick, people that gave up on it. They stopped asking about it, and I mentioned on the morning show that yeah, it got down to support, right? The blue arc here, and the blue arc and the level here, and now it's just going up, right? It hit the cloud. It literally just waited until it hit the cloud, and boom, all of a sudden, like you can't really make that stuff up, right? So I think ASTS, if people want to talk about overextension from the cloud, this is like one of the best examples ever of taking months to get to the cloud to finally touch it. It didn't mean that it had to come all the way back down here to touch it. It just went sideways to touch it. So I think ASTS is the perfect example of that. And MSTR, going back to that, we can see that, yeah, if it did the same thing, what is that, May of 2025, just going
Oh,
sideways?
I do not want to see it go to May.
That would just like destroy people's morality, really. They would just not be happy at all. So we'll see. I mean, it's possible that it can just break out, but I think it's also possible to just go trade sideways for a while, down to sideways, whatever. So it's a patience game, and I'm not worried either way because I think Bitcoin has a ways to go. And if I think Bitcoin has a ways to go, I don't think MicroStrategy is done yet either. So
Now, people are going to get really excited about MicroStrategy
yeah.
again. Michael Saylor is a lightning rod for controversy and
Yeah.
excitement.
And with that said, Coinbase is actually reporting earnings on the 13th, I think, as well, next week, right? So this is a perfect setup too, right? A really, really perfect setup of this
Oh
blue
yeah,
level. I mean, the Ichimoku conversion line is still at 290. It's kind of getting rejected as resistance, but if I take everything off, I mean, you can just see how beautiful a setup this really is. A previous resistance trying to flip to a support. I mean, maybe they're not going to run it up into earnings, but I mean, they could just launch it on earnings and just boom, go higher, right? So it just depends on, like last time they kind of ran it up before earnings, right? It sold off on earnings, and the next earnings was right here, and they ran it up before earnings. And this time, since the earnings report, it kind of just shot straight up after, but then it just did nothing. So yeah, they don't look like they're running it up before earnings. But if it holds levels, like, and plus it's holding this uh linear scale, linear scale 618 here, the 277.51, it's holding that perfectly too. So I mean, this is really a perfect setup for something to go higher. So I like this a lot. And
yeah, it's a nice ping pong there between the
yeah,
levels.
and regardless, the 786 always held. It was a breakout backtest of the 786, even a wicked below. So incredible market symmetry, incredible just structure, really. And I couldn't be more bullish for the future. Whether it's this earnings report or next, I don't think it really matters to me because the big picture is all-time highs and the next level up here, like 800s, 900s, 1000s, that zone. That's what I'm waiting for Coinbase.
The magical 786.
Yeah, the magical.
Let's see. Yeah. All right, let me go back to the beginning. We did hymns, root. Have I ever done root? Let's see. But yeah, over the long run, MicroStrategy should just be absolutely bonkers. It's my second largest holding now, I think, second or third. Okay, so I've done it before. It looks like I was looking for. Whoa, don't move that. I was looking for. This is our wave one, wave two. So now we're in wave three. Sub one went to 100%, and then back to the 3.2. It kind of like it wicked up here, and really it kind of did 764, 382. And then so the 1382 is my next target up here at $151.27. So that has not changed. That's still the same. So look for 151 to $120 for support at the 100% fib level. And remember, that's just a 100% fib. Is the extension means that all wave one, it's that same distance. You just stack it on top of the wave two bottom. So there's 100%, and then 132, so another 38.2% higher, and then test back to that 100% again for support before going to the 2382 at $233.19. There you go. That's my Fibonacci levels for root. What else do we have? AFRM. AFRM. What do I think about this chart? I think I like it better as a retracement than I do as an extension. Let's take a look. You can see that the institutions love it. It's super bullish on the MCDX Plus there. And yeah, let's see, 382. It got to the 382. This is the 236 right here, so it might have to touch this baseline one more time at $49, and then it could go to the 618 up here at 112.53. Why don't I have this on here? These things all got wonked out here. But yeah, from the 0, here's 382, 236, 618. So let's look for maybe a pullback to, as I said, about 48, 41, and then up to 113.90. Take your screenshot of that if you want for a firm. This isn't too bad for the 5 waves up. It's just, well, I gotta move this. That's why it looks weird. Now it looks like it did, man, 618, 382, 1236, 764. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it for that. Let's just keep an eye on the retracement levels here. All right, that's a firm.
All right.
How about you, Matt? Do you want to do another one?
Yeah, I want to do AMD just because the
Okay.
earnings. And here's AMD. So just before I put any indicators on here, we're going to just look at the weekly chart and just look at this blue level here. So this level right here is super important, right? Previous resistance, support, resistance, resistance, support, support. It's already breakout back test. So it doesn't necessarily need to go down there. But when I put on the monthly chart, I did mention this last night too. It matches the top of the cloud, right? So it could easily come back down there, or it could just go sideways and go over here and touch the cloud too for a while. But who knows? But this has potential to basically be near a bottom now, finally, right? The when we put on the moving averages too, the 50-month moving average was at 113. So it still has potential to even close the month above this. The month is still young, right? There's still 23 days. It could just turn into a wick down here and close back above, right? So we'll see if it does need to retest this $97, $98 zone, maybe even the cloud at 95. We'll see, right? But at this point, it's not even that too far away. So I think a lot of people give up near max pain, and I think max pain is near. So this is really accumulation zone, I think, in my opinion, still for the future, because zooming out, this chart doesn't look bearish, right? It's higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. Like high time frame, it just got rejected by the arc here, so it came back down to retest the support to make a higher low. And no matter if it went back down to the 98 or whatever, that's still a higher low from before, back in November, October 2023. So it's basically maybe a little bit more down, but it's not really much compared to where it used to be.
Could also just be like your moving average 50. It was, really embroiled in it in 2023, and then it got over it. It got a little far away from it. And it's coming down. It's just going to get a kiss off of it now.
Yeah.
And maybe you'll go back and check out that arc again.
Yeah, I'm the horizontal line. Yeah, I mean, but it doesn't really necessarily need to go back to the monthly cloud, because it did spend a lot of time back down there in 2022 and 2023. So it's not really necessary, but it is perfect market symmetry if it did come back down to this level. So I think just got to watch out for that. But either way, I don't think it makes a difference, current price down there, because the setup for something like this does look nice for the future.
All right. Well, I've got OKLO on deck, and oh my gosh, I haven't looked at this in a while. It looks like it's blown. I guess I was looking for a 223. Let me make these bigger. I was looking for a 2236 extension, and I got the 238, and that's where it is right now. So this is definitely resistance where it is. That could be the top of the whole 5-wave cycle right there. So it came up to based off of this low to this high. Where are we at? No. It goes farther back. Where did I even get this from? Hang on. I've done something weird. Okay, from $1 to 1875 back to 536. The dollar is like way back here off the chart. Yeah, it finished 1, 2, 3, 4. A nice 5-wave move up, and now it just needs an ABC retrace, and then this whole chart can then become the larger degree wave 1, larger degree wave 2 for a bigger chart that goes up. So based off of our high now being 4802, let's make it 4802, and then the bottom is the wave 2 bottom right here, 792. 790. Okay. Let's come back to 2796. And that's going to make it look like it lost the Ichi candlesticks. It'll lose the weekly Ichimoku and then a little bit of the baseline. And I'm not sure what's going to have how it's going to find support with the cloud way over here. Unless it just goes sideways all the way here into July. That'd be a long way to go. But I don't know. Maybe that's OKLO energy. So maybe this is what happens with energy. And like I said, after crypto and Tesla do really well in March, then maybe it'll cycle into energy, and that's when OKLO will start take off again. So uh, we'll revisit this one, and I'll give you guys some projections for how much higher it's going to go. But just a sneak peek, it's probably going to be something like this: $130 in, I don't know, 2027. All right, there you go. There's OKLO. So it's definitely time to sell, take some profit, short it, whatever you want to do. I think, in my opinion. Do you have another one, Matt, or should I just go to TEM?
Yeah, I think TM. You can do that.
All right, here's Tempest AI. As I said, speculative. This one's kind of new-ish. There's something about this chart that I really need to see more of. Here's your from the bottom of $31.36, 100% retraced to 79.49 was its all-time high. Right now, it's stuck under the 70.2% fib line, and it's hanging around at 618. Once it can get over the 786 at 69.19 and turn to support, that's when you'll see it break out. The way I've got it set right now, I'm looking for 618.236. Maybe we'll get 764.382 though, because I like how it backtested that level right there. Yeah, let's look for 74.60. It rejects the 886, comes back to this zone, and then yeah, and pushes up, and then to the 100% level, and the 232. Yeah, so there's a potential path for Tempest AI. So another higher high is coming. Well, it'll be a lower high, right? It won't quite match the 79.49. I'm expecting now to go to 74.60, then back to test support before it breaks out and makes a new higher high. Maybe in April. All right, there's Tempest AI. You can take your screenshot if you want. And you can see on the MCDX Plus, actually, it is quite bullish. Still 68% institutional bankers in Wales and less than 10% retail. So very good, very bullish. Oh my gosh, you guys with the asking 3, 4 charts at a time. You gotta be fair to everybody.
Well,
Go ahead and do one, Matt. I'm gonna see if what I can figure out with this Powell Industries.
yeah, yeah, and
But you
just
can
to touch on TEM too, I think TEM is looking better and better, better and better. It's getting more and more bullish, so I agree with Tracker right there. Um, yeah, I'll just jump on Tesla while you pull up something because we'll just take a look at that Charty McCharterson, and it's stuck, guys. It's as I mentioned on the Triumvirate show last night. What we see for Tesla is in fact stuck. Right, the 390 is really, really looking like it's resistance. Right, it did close a little bit above it yesterday, but I'm looking for a weekly close above it on Friday. So if a weekly candle can close above it, then possibly it can recover. But if not, I'm looking at maybe the previous 886 down below, right? We'll just take this off. So this is the range it's in, right? We can see the 886 is 378.85 and the resistance is 390. So it's honestly just stuck. Now, if it ever gets below this, starts to close weekly candles below this 378.85, then I think it's going lower. But until then, it's just stuck and it's looking for direction. So It's trying to just shake people out, maybe get the bulls all excited when it breaks above yesterday, and then the bears all excited when it goes down to the 380s and 370s again. But really, in reality, you can see from this chart, it was a breakout and a back test, and it's been ranging for over a month in this exact range, and even up higher, went up to 414. So it's like on the higher time frame, the range is a lot wider. But unlike the day over day, it's basically 390 to 378. Right, that is the range. So no update for me unless one of those levels breaks. Either 390 has to break on a weekly candle close, or 378.85 has to break on a weekly candle close to choose a direction. So that is going to be my confirmation for everything coming forward.
Very nice. I've got this POWL Industries on my screen here. So this one's got pretty nicely defined. I was tempted to make this the 1-2, but it just made more sense if I made this sort of an A, B, and this is your larger degree 1-2. And then this one does a wave 3, went 382, more than 236, but then a perfect touch to the 123.6. And you know, I've even got a, let's see if I can bring this in here. I made a new template for these. So here's the 618 pattern. So you can see in blue, it goes, well, this one didn't do 618, but it went 382, 236, 1236. It went lower than the 764. That looks like a 50% retrace right there. But I'm still would expect this pattern to take us to the 2236. So it's got a really nice wave 5 coming. Anytime really, if this could be the wave 4 done. The wave 2 was very short, so the wave 4 is going to be longer, and it already had like a false start, fell over. Maybe it needs to do one more false start and fall over again. Perhaps it'll look something like this. And then once it hits this cloud in May, then it can actually start the wave 5 up. But this, my projection is 559.72 for this, or from where price is right now, 140% higher. So you could either buy it now and then just let the money sit and sit and sit, or you could take a gamble and then not, wait and come back to this in May. No, I'm sorry, end of April, and see if that's when it takes off. There you go, POWL Industries. And the institutions do like it, but retail's kind of, been active here. So 68% whales and bankers, but more than 10% in retail right now still. So kind of talked about, you touched ACSTS, and does anybody else want humor?
Yeah. Now that it's doing well, people are requesting it again. See, but nobody wanted it when it was down on the 18th. It happens all the time.
We'll come back and get Huma. Here's IPA. Immunoprecise antibodies. This is where everyone got excited right here in January 21st. It had this crazy wick up, and hopefully it's not a blow off top. But so far, let's see, this was a lower low, which was not super exciting. In fact, I have to adjust my chart here. Let's see, 32.48. 30. Just a little lower. This one too. There you are. So with this new lower low, I'm basically looking forward to try to get back to. Where did this go? Oh, this is a weekly chart. There must have been let's do an 8-hour chart. Yeah, right here. Here's this top right there. So from this bottom back to this top, it got to the 88%, came back down here again, 11%. This looks like the next time it gets over this baseline, it'll break out. So now we can look back for a larger degree retracement. Ooh, and we've got plenty to pick from. I don't know. This is all pretty speculative. This is not. It's starting to build a base down here, and it's starting to turn up, so that's nice. So let's do this to here. Skip to the end, look for try to get to up to $2.24 as its next major target. Doing sort of what price is now. Well, from here. See how the 236 was resistance the first time, but it's going to turn it to support. It's going to 382 back to 236 to make it into support, and then onto the 618. So there you go. Look for 151 back to 105, and then up to 224. Or from where price is right now, that is about roughly 370% higher. So yeah, there's some money to be made there. I think I own IPA. I think I've got some shares of this. MCDX Plus still kind of mixed. There's a lot of retail going on right now, but right here during this period, some investors were very interested in it. All right, there you go. Oh, and it's got a much larger retrace setup, which is it gets kind of ridiculous here. I won't even tell. It's like over 10,000%. Actually, I guess I will tell you how much that is. If it got up to this C level up here for 2092, that is 4,273% higher. So yeah, it's worth a gamble. It's worth a gamble, which is why I've got, I don't know, maybe 1,000 shares or something. All right. What is next? How about Matt? You got something you want to share?
Let's see.
I mean, I keep going. I just didn't want to take you out of turn.
No, you're fine.
I can
How's
do.
how's your
go ahead.
CLDI doing?
Oh my God! You know I don't like LCDI, Lucid.
No,
I think it's
the CLDI.
Calidi, yes,
Calidi,
Calidi
yeah.
Biotherapeutics. They're doing great. Let's see here on the 8-hour chart. It's made it up to the 23.6 as resistance, which it should be until it can get over it to the 382 and then back to it. Actually, I'm even looking farther back at this price action back here. I'm hoping it was the 50% level. So a 2236, or I'm sorry, $2.23, then maybe back to the 236 at $1.36, and then up to either the 786, probably the 786, probably not the 886 right away. So yeah, 130% higher from where price is right now overall, but just if it gets to this, even if it gets to 382% level, which would normally do 236, 382, then 618, that's still, can't read it anyway. That's still 34% higher to the 382, 62% higher to the 50% level if it really does get back up there, because this was an important zone right around here. I'd like to see it touch that again at the bottom before sending it back. So yeah, and then that's just the smaller degree chart. On a much larger scale, if they can pull this off, and I think they can, you could see Calidi do this ABC, which takes us to 673% higher. And if they do that, then it's this ABC. Oh my God, yes, that's right. For 6,000% higher. And then, if but before this point, probably, I'm guessing by this point here at $32, they'll probably get bought out. They'll probably get acquired by a larger company. But that's just my guess. And then you'll get a good payout before it gets rolled into the other larger pharmaceutical company. There you go, Calidi Biotherapeutics. They've got a fantastic anti-cancer. It's an oncolytic viral treatment. They put a virus in that kills cancer, but they sneak it inside of a fat stem cell so that the host body doesn't reject it. In fact, it embraces it, and then they can replicate the virus inside of the fat stem cell, inside the tumor, and it just like goes crazy. And the pictures from that slide deck are amazing. Like it took this one woman had like a 8-inch tumor on her neck, and it just flattened it down to nothing after just a few months of the treatment.
Oh, wow.
A few months later from her injection treatment.
That's really good.
All right, there you go. Calidi Biotherapeutics. I've got over 10,000 shares of this now. I think I've got maybe 20,000 shares right now. I forget. I'll have to take a look.
All right,
Go ahead.
so
Once we do one.
yeah, I'll do Google since it's down pre-market. Somebody requested. I saw a request for ATRK, but I don't see that as a ticker symbol at all. So maybe they mistyped that. But yeah, let me just jump to Google to see what's going on pre-market, and yeah, it's down back below the 194.11. I was watching that mostly throughout the day, or throughout the week, I should say, because it did gap up above it, kind of. Well, it closed above it last week, and then it did continue its trend higher, went to all-time highs, and now it's back pre-market at 190.88. And we can see that it's basically where the conversion line is at the 190.35. So it's kind of back at a support zone, maybe an important one because it's also a previous high, right? A previous resistance breakout. It would be a back test of it, right? So this has a good potential to hold. But if it doesn't hold, then I think it's going to go down a lot further. But this currently right now is just a big resistance zone in the past. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 weeks in a row, basically getting rejected at that 1.414, and then it finally broke out, and now it's back in that range. So I think it has potential to hold this zone throughout the week. But of course, I always wait for weekly candle closes for confirmation. So that is my focus for Google, the one holding at least the 190.35.
Google. Let's see. Oh, Dan Krause says he's thinking Calidi will hit resistance at the bottom of the daily Ichimoku cloud around $1.70. Let's take a look. Is that the daily cloud? Oh yeah, a daily cloud. I can see that. It's just coming up. Calidi is coming up on the daily moving average 75. And then full disclosure, I'm not into pump and dumps. I just test those people. But my belief in this company, I've got 26,000 shares with an average cost now of $1.40. My cost was up here, and I bought more yesterday, or no, 2 days ago, around $1.11 or something like that. Bought my cost down to here. So yeah, here's the moving average 75 on the daily, up here at $1.45. The cloud, if it goes straight up, it's $1.73. If it goes sideways, it's like $1.51, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm looking forward to get into this cloud and mix things up. That's where my AB is, right here inside the cloud.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't
on the daily chart.
I was still on my screen.
Oh no, that's all right.
Now you can. Yeah, there we go.
It's okay. Here, so this is what I was saying. My cost is $1.40, and we're just under it now. The moving average 75 on the daily chart. These are daily candlesticks. Is right here at $1.46. If price went straight up today, it would hit the cloud at $1.71, $1.72, or maybe it goes sideways a little bit. If it goes really sideways, it's like $1.50 to $1.33's resistance. But like I said, I'm looking for it to mix it up inside this cloud. I'd like to see it to blow into the cloud and get our AB right here for 223, 136, and then on up to the 318 next.
Yeah. All right.
MVIS. Let me do.
Yeah, well, that'll be the last one then, because I got to run away after that.
Oh no! How did the time go by so fast? We even started early on the request. Let's see. MVIS. I'm just looking for an ABC retrace here, and that seems to be fitting it pretty well. It got more than, it almost got 50%, 236. So I'm looking for the 886 up here for 248. So I've got it right here in the notes. Either an ABC up to 248, or else it starts 5 waves up. If it hits resistance at 225, then that's probably the impulse wave to the 764 back to the 382, 1382, etc. So here, I'll just pull this back. You can take a screenshot of my microvision chart, and there you go. So either 248, or it hits resistance at 225 and sends it back down, which just means it goes higher after that.
Very good.
Microvision.
All right.
And the institutions like it. 72% institutions and less than 10%. It's super bullish right now.
Very, very good. Yeah, it looks like it can hold some levels there. Nice. All right, with that said, I think...
All right, it's Wednesday.
I think I'll go.
Yep.
Yeah, Wednesday. Are you doing anything special today?
No, why? Is there something
No, I don't know.
Today?
Any
Okay.
any chart plans?
What do you know?
No,
No, I'm just going to wait. I'm. Let's see. What are my biggest holdings right now? Cost basis total. My largest holdings right now are MSTX, Bullfrog, DXYZ Destiny, and TSLL, and then GME and ACHR close. I've got a whole bunch of these in Tiger. All of those have got more than $70,000 in. Um, so yeah, I'm just watching all these. They look pretty green yesterday, and I just like to see some more continuation of that.
Yeah.
That's it.
Sounds good. All right. With that said, we'll see you guys tomorrow.
It's time to let these guys run. They need to start running because I've already been doing the thing where like it ran up, I didn't sell, it pulled back, I didn't necessarily buy more, or maybe I did buy more, but like every time it runs up, I'm not selling because I keep thinking this is gonna be the time it's gonna break out. So now it's time to break out very
Yeah.
soon.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow, Tracker.
All right. Oh, Jeffrey Gideon had a question about CLDI 8K. They filings this morning. No, I don't. I think they already finished all their. Why would they raise more money? I don't know. I guess I haven't looked at that yet. Okay. Yep. Calidi at 60 cents was awesome. All right. Sorry about that. I didn't
No
mean
worries.
to run back thing. I'll have to look at the CLDI thing. All
All right,
right.
guys.
See you
See you
tomorrow.
tomorrow. Bye bye.
Bye, everybody.